If you found a magic box that could grant you anything your heart desired, how far would you go before realizing that some wishes come at a price? Claire Shannon is about to learn that the hard way. She's tired of being broke, bullied, and ignored. But when she stumbles upon a mysterious Chinese music box, everything starts to change. Suddenly, she's got money, popularity, and revenge on her enemies, until she realizes that every wish she makes comes with a horrifying consequence. Now, with time running out and the body count rising, Claire has to figure out how to break the curse before she becomes the box's next victim. We're about to break down every twisted consequence of playing with fate in Wish Upon. On an average day in the suburbs, Johanna wraps something up in a sheet and tosses it in the trash like an unwanted secret. Meanwhile, her daughter Claire pedals through the neighborhood with her dog Max, blissfully unaware that her life is about to change forever. When she gets home, she calls for her mother, only to find Johanna lifeless in the attic. Years later, teenage Claire wakes up from yet another nightmare about that day. She hops on her bike and heads to school, stopping to greet her Uncle August. When she turns to help him grab the newspaper, she barely dodges a hit-and-run courtesy of Darcy and her squad of mean girls. They laugh as she crashes into the trash cans, adding insult to literal injury. At school, things don't get much better. Her dad, Jonathan, is out front dumpster diving with his buddy Carl, turning Claire's social life into one big embarrassment. She waves them off, but not before Jonathan scolds her for visiting August, something she's apparently not supposed to do. Ignoring him, she heads inside to meet her friends, June and Meredith, where they start putting up a banner. Their hard work lasts about 5 seconds before Darcy ruins it with a well-aimed drink. To make matters worse, Claire spots her crush, Paul, now officially off the market with a new girlfriend. Ryan tries to comfort her, but she's too focused on Paul to care. Meanwhile, Jonathan's dumpster diving hobby takes a strange turn when he finds an ornate, locked box at the cemetery. He can't open it, but that doesn't stop him from keeping it. Back at school, Claire and her friends are cracking jokes about Darcy when she overhears and decides to return the favor in front of the entire cafeteria. Claire fires back by calling Darcy the ultimate smegma, which for those who don't know, is not a compliment. Darcy responds with a slap, Claire slaps back, and before anyone can blink, they're rolling across the tables in a full-on brawl. The students love it. Phones out, cheers up, and zero signs of either girl backing down. An adult steps in to break up the fight, dragging Claire away before things get even messier. Darcy tries for a round 2, but Paul scoops her up and carries her out like a screaming prize. At home, Jonathan surprises Claire with an early birthday present, but her enthusiasm is about as lively as a discarded banana peel. She finds the package on her bed and unwraps a beautifully carved box. The Chinese characters on it translate to 7 wishes, but the lid refuses to budge. That afternoon, Claire's bad day gets worse. Darcy posts a heavily edited fight video, conveniently leaving out the part where she started it. The comments section takes her side, and to add insult to injury, she also posts a picture of Jonathan dumpster diving. Now, Claire isn't just the school punching bag, she's garbage girl. Frustrated, she eyes the box and decides to test its claim. Wishing for Darcy to go rot, she sets it aside. Just then, Max scratches at the door, but when she opens it, he refuses to step inside, growling at the box like it personally offended him. That night, while Claire sleeps, the box creaks open and plays a haunting tune before sealing itself shut. Meanwhile, at a sleepover, Darcy wakes up feeling off. She stumbles into the bathroom and finds her legs literally rotting. Checking the mirror, she watches in horror as the decay spreads to her face. Her screams wake her friends, who, instead of helping, start snapping photos. By morning, the pictures are viral, and Darcy is now the school's newest meme. Claire, oblivious to the box's role in her wish, takes a picture of it to search for more information. But before she can dig deeper, she realizes Max hasn't been around. Following a strange noise under the deck, she's met with a nightmare. Max's lifeless body being devoured by rats. Jonathan and Carl bury the dog, but for Claire, it's more than just losing a pet. Max was a final gift from her mother. The next day, still shaken, she shows her Chinese teacher the box inscription, but it turns out the writing is in ancient Chinese. If she wants answers, she'll need a scholar. Ryan offers to help, mentioning his cousin might know someone, but Claire brushes him off. That night, she makes a post remembering Max, unaware that the box has only just begun granting her wishes with a deadly price tag attached. Claire's scrolling session gets interrupted by a message from Meredith. Paul's social media is worth checking out. One look at his pictures and she's already reaching for the box, wishing for him to fall madly in love with her. The next morning, Paul's priorities do a complete 180. Ignoring his girlfriend, he's all about Claire now. Meanwhile, the box plays its eerie tune, and across town, August's bath takes a fatal turn. A slip, a fall, and a head injury later, he's gone. Claire arrives home to the news of August's death. Jonathan isn't exactly mourning, calling it good riddance, since the family ignored him for years. He also doubts August left them anything, but Claire has other plans. Tripping over more of her dad's so-called treasures, she snaps at him for turning their house into a landfill. Tired of being broke, she heads straight to her room, grabs the box, and wishes that August left everything to her. Not long after, Jonathan gets a call. August's fortune now belongs to Claire. The family wastes no time moving into his fancy house, and Claire upgrades her entire life. A new phone, her own car, and a shopping spree with her friends. Makeovers, designer clothes, and enough snacks to last a lifetime. Even Paul takes notice of her glow-up. That evening, the box opens again, playing its signature tune. Meanwhile, Claire's old neighbor is dealing with a much less glamorous situation. Her garbage disposal starts making a strange noise. She turns it off, checks inside, finds nothing, and turns it back on. Bad move. Her braid gets caught, and the machine pulls her in. She struggles to reach the button, but it's too late. Her scalp gets ripped off and her neck snaps against the counter. The next day, Jonathan stumbles upon some of Johanna's old paintings. Claire starts worrying about ending up like her mother, but Jonathan assures her he won't let that happen. Moments later, she finds him playing the saxophone, a forgotten passion he hasn't touched since Johanna died. Jonathan picking up his saxophone is a sign he's finally trying to move on. But that night, Claire's sleep is anything but peaceful. Dreams of the box fill her head, and when she suddenly wakes up, a shadow moves outside. Rushing out to check, she finds nothing. The next day, Paul wastes no time breaking up with his girlfriend and asking Claire out. She doesn't give him an answer right away. Instead, she focuses on the mystery of the box, searching for its symbols online. With no luck, she's forced to turn to Ryan. On the way to meet his cousin, they reminisce about their childhood and geek out over the multiverse. Eventually, they reach Gina, who examines the box and identifies it as a version of a Chinese wish pot. Traditionally, wishes are written on paper and placed inside to come true. She translates the text, confirming it grants 7 wishes, but also comes with rules. The wisher must touch the box, and getting rid of it undoes all granted wishes. The name Lu Mei is also carved into it, leading them to an old legend. Back in 1910, China was ravaged by the bubonic plague. Lu Mei's family was suspected of being infected and locked inside a train car. Everyone perished from heat stroke and dehydration, except Lu Mei. Seeking revenge, she took her family's most prized possession, a music box, to a temple. After 7 days and nights of prayer, a demon answered. She gained wealth, power, and revenge on those who wronged her. 12 years later, she died from an opium overdose. Gina notes a cryptic phrase on the box about something happening when the music stops but can't translate the rest. She takes pictures and promises to consult a scholar. On the way home, Claire sees Jonathan dumpster diving again. Frustrated, she lashes out, refusing to listen to his explanation. When she gets home, she grabs the box and makes a wish. She wants her dad to stop being an embarrassment. That night, Jonathan emerges as a suave saxophonist, instantly impressing June. Meanwhile, Gina receives an email from her friend with the full translation of the box, and it's not looking good. Just as she processes the disturbing details, the box opens and a sudden storm knocks out the power in her apartment. Struggling to get a signal, she steps onto the balcony and leaves a message on Ryan's phone, warning him that the translation is unsettling. As she turns to go back inside, the wind slams the door shut, making her drop her phone. Navigating through the dark, she trips on the carpet and falls, straight onto a bull statue. The horn pierces her, ending her life instantly. The next morning, Ryan finds her body in the translation. Horrified, he rushes to school and confronts Claire. The newly translated text reveals that the box demands a blood price for every wish granted. Ryan pushes Claire for answers, but she dodges his questions. During lunch, Paul invites Claire to sit with him, but the rest of the popular crowd isn't on board. Annoyed by her presence, they get up and leave. Later, an edited picture surfaces online showing Claire digging through a dumpster, making her the latest joke at school. Fed up, she grabs the box and wishes to be the most popular girl in school. That evening, Paul invites her to a party, and when she arrives, the crowd erupts in applause. After a night of dancing, Paul and Claire share a kiss. But the celebration comes with a price. Claire dreams of her mother's death again. Only this time, the box is there too. She wakes up to find someone outside recording her. When she rushes to catch them, they vanish into the night. Before she can process it, Jonathan appears, but Claire is too distracted by a chilling realization. It all started with the box. Wasting no time, she hides it in a vent. The next day, she visits her former neighbor's house. A foul stench fills the air, and when nobody answers the door, she steps inside, only to find the decomposing body in the kitchen. Later at school, she finally gets to sit with the popular crowd, but something feels off. Searching for something familiar, she finds Meredith and June, who aren't too thrilled about being treated like background characters in Claire's rise to the top. Claire convinces Meredith and June to hear her out, explaining the deaths linked to the box, which she has now chained up. Meredith dismisses it as coincidence and calls her out for wasting wishes on petty desires instead of something meaningful. After some back and forth, June persuades Claire to get rid of it. Claire heads outside, ready to part ways with the cursed object, until she hears Jonathan playing the saxophone. The reminder of her wish makes her hesitate, and she decides to keep it after all. Later at a party, Claire is making out with Paul in his car when she spots another woman's clothes. A quick search of his phone reveals a disturbing collection of photos. Paul has been the one lurking outside her house. She immediately breaks up with him, though he refuses to accept it. Right then, the box opens, and a party decoration falls into the bonfire, sending flames roaring. Meredith pulls June away just in time. Meanwhile, Jonathan is on his way to a gig when his car gets a flat tire. While fixing it, two speeding cars nearly hit him, but he dodges just in time. Then he accidentally kicks the spare tire, sending it flying into another vehicle. The impact causes it to bounce back, almost taking off his head. He barely avoids it. After the party, the girls stay at a fancy hotel, and Claire confesses to June that she never got rid of the box. Meanwhile, Meredith takes the elevator. It suddenly stops, trapping her inside. Moments later, the doors open, but before she can step out, the elevator drops at a terrifying speed. The elevator cables snap, sending it plummeting to the ground and killing Meredith on impact. When the police arrive, June immediately blames Claire for everything. Ryan shows up and takes Claire to his house, revealing his research on the box. Every past owner lived lavishly, but was surrounded by death before meeting a grim and unexplained end. Like one man who mysteriously locked himself in a basement during a house fire. Their discussion is cut short when Claire's phone blows up with messages from Paul, desperately begging her to take him back. Overwhelmed, she breaks down. Ryan, realizing she's already used 5 wishes, snaps at her, but still agrees to help destroy the box. They try burning it, smashing it with a hammer. Nothing works. Left with no choice, Claire stashes it in the vent again. That night, she wakes up to find Paul in her room, holding a knife. He claims he can't live without her, and immediately proves it, leaving Claire screaming for help. Paramedics arrive and rush him to the hospital. The next day, Claire finds out the box is missing. Before she can process it, the police show up to seize the house and all the money. August never paid taxes. The family is forced back to their old home. Claire is back to biking to school, and Jonathan returns to dumpster diving. Meanwhile, Darcy has fully recovered and wastes no time making Claire's life miserable again. Pushed to the edge, Claire has another breakdown in the school bathroom. That morning, she discovers June has the box in her locker. June confesses she stole it to keep everyone safe, but Claire refuses to let it go. A struggle breaks out. In the chaos, Claire shoves June down the stairs, ending her life instantly. Ryan witnesses everything and chases after Claire, but she refuses to listen, clutching the box like a lifeline. Back home, she spirals, overwhelmed by everything that's happened. Desperate for a way out, she makes her next wish. She wants her mother back. In an instant, Johanna is alive as if nothing ever happened. She even has 2 more daughters, and the family celebrates Claire's birthday like old times. Everything seems perfect. After the party, Claire browses Johanna's latest paintings and freezes when she sees one depicting the box. The realization hits. Her mother must have used it too. That means the box wasn't just connected to her death, it caused it. Then the music starts playing. Claire rushes outside, spotting Jonathan working with Carl. She screams, but it's too late. The ladder shifts, Carl loses balance, and the chainsaw swings straight down, decapitating Jonathan. As Johanna discovers her husband's body, Claire bolts upstairs, gripping the box one last time. Without hesitation, she makes her final wish, to go back to the morning Jonathan first found it. Time rewinds. Claire wakes up in bed, the past reset, and Max curled up beside her. Claire wastes no time calling Meredith, relieved to hear her voice. Stepping outside, she notices even the neighbor is back. Determined to prevent history from repeating itself, she asks Jonathan and Carl to take her dumpster diving. This time, she's the one who finds the box. But instead of making a wish, she quietly stashes it in her bag. At school, she tracks down Ryan and hands him the bag, instructing him to bury it, no questions asked. To seal the deal, she kisses him and even asks him out. But just as she walks away, fate takes one last swing. Darcy's car comes out of nowhere, hitting Claire and killing her instantly. Later, Ryan finishes digging the hole but hesitates. Curiosity wins. He opens the bag and finds the box, reading the words, 7 wishes. But this isn't the only time mysterious forces have shaken up someone's reality. In the movie Attraction, a UFO crashes in Moscow, turning the city into a war zone. But was the real battle against aliens or ourselves? Click here to find out.